Death Note is a masterpiece. It's my favorite show and I love every part of it. I watched it for the first time around 7 or 8 years ago, and I've watched it at least once every year since. It has left far more of an impact on me than any other show I've ever watched, and I know I'm not alone in that. There's a reason that this show is so loved and has been a gateway into anime for so many. Death Note tells a story so strong that even people who aren't fans of anime can enjoy and appreciate it. While there are countless aspects of the show that can be enjoyed, to me, the part that carries the show is the dichotomy of Light and L. The show begins by introducing us to the protagonist Light Yagami, a hardworking, attractive, talented genius. He's adored by his family members, popular among his peers, and gets plenty of praise for his high level of intelligence.
Oh, the results of the nationwide exams.
I've been waiting all day.
Here.
Goodness, #1 again. These are the highest scores you've had.
Yeah, I guess. I'm going to study in my room, so please don't interrupt me, okay?
As you wish. Oh, Light, do you want anything at all, dear? You can ask for whatever you like.
No, I'm fine, Mom. Thanks, though.
When he first finds the notebook, he decides to use it to kill criminals to make the world a better place, a seemingly noble act. However, the reveal of L quickly shows Light's true colors. Light doesn't hesitate to kill the first person to attempt to stop him. He shows that his true motivations aren't really to make the world a better place, but instead to put himself in a position of superiority in the world, to become a god.
Kira, I've got a pretty good idea what your motivation might be, and I can guess what you hope to achieve. However, what you're doing right now is evil.
You think I'm evil? I am justice! I protect the innocent and those who fear evil. I'm the one who will become the god of a new world that everyone desires. All those who would oppose that god, they are the ones who are truly evil.
L is slowly introduced to us over time as another super genius, but opposite of Light in many other ways. He's an orphan who was never showered in love, he isn't charismatic, and his appearance doesn't fit the social norm. The two appear to be almost complete opposites of each other. However, on the inside, they are alike in nearly every way. A typical protagonist versus antagonist relationship is shaped as good versus bad or good versus evil, and usually the audience is encouraged to take one side versus the other, but Light and L's relationship is a little more complicated. Arguments can be made for Light's use of the Death Note as good or evil, but it's pretty easy to frame Light as a person as evil, and according to the creator of Death Note himself, Sugumi Oba, Light is evil. But he also states that L is evil as well. In an interview, he said, "I never thought it was important to define Light as either good or evil. To me, Light is evil, L is slightly evil, and only Soichiro is totally righteous." So Light is clearly more evil than L, but L still lands on the evil side of the spectrum. Along with Light being evil, he is clearly a psychopath or a sociopath. I'm not an expert in this area, so I'm not sure which one he is, but L shares some of these same characteristics that make Light a monster. He even admits this himself.
Any other questions?
Oh, can you tell me if there's something that you're not good at, or maybe something that you're scared of?
Something I'm scared of.
What? Yeah, right. Elle's not scared of anything.
Well, I suppose monsters.
Me too. I am too.
Dummy, Elle's not the same as you.
There are many types of monsters in this world. Monsters who will not show themselves and who cause trouble. Monsters who abduct children. Monsters who devour dreams. Monsters who suck blood. And monsters who always tell lies. Lying monsters are a real nuisance. They are much more cunning than other monsters.
They pose as humans, even though they have no understanding of the human heart. They eat, even though they've never experienced hunger. They study, even though they have no interest in academics. They seek friendship, even though they do not know how to love. If I were to encounter such a monster, I would likely be eaten by it. Because in truth, I am that monster.
Even though both share evil qualities, L is able to admit that he is evil, unlike Light, who believes to the end that he is noble and righteous. On the surface, their motivations for their opposing sides seem virtuous. Both seem to fight for justice in a better world. However, both characters are really motivated by boredom initially, and later their stubborn desire to fight to the death in a battle of wits.
If we know that he needs a name and a face to kill, couldn't we cut down on the number of victims by keeping criminals' names from the news?
If we do that, we'll only be putting the general public at risk.
The general public? Why?
Kira is childish and he hates losing.
But how do you...
Just what do you mean?
Well, I'm also childish and I hate to lose. That's how I know.
Light believes that what he is doing is for the betterment of the world around him, as he sacrifices his own soul to enact justice on evildoers. However, even he expresses how boring life was before he got his hands on the Death Note. Unlike Light, L admits to being motivated by boredom in the Death Note one-shot special released in 2008. When answering questions asked by the kids at Whammy's house, he seemingly gets asked about his motivations for what he does. He responds, "It's not a sense of justice. Figuring out difficult cases is my hobby. If you measured good and evil deeds by current laws, I'd be responsible for many crimes. The same way you all like to solve mysteries and riddles or clear video games more quickly. For me too, it's simply prolonging something I enjoy doing. That's why I only take on cases that pique my interest. It's not justice at all, and if it means being able to clear a case, I don't play fair. I'm a dishonest, cheating human being who hates losing." L also shows part of his evil side here by admitting that he's motivated by selfishness and not by justice. But at least the outcome of L's motivations are generally viewed as beneficial to society, as he solves some of the world's hardest cases and taking down some of the world's most dangerous criminals. This relief of boredom from their rivalry leads to a strange relationship between the two. They want nothing else than to see the other die, but they still share a mutual respect for each other.
That's a good point. You're not Kira. That is, it would be a problem if you were Kira. Because I feel you're the first friend that I have ever had.
Despite what El said in that clip, he doesn't really consider Light a friend. Oba confirmed this in an interview, saying, "No, when he told Light that Light was his first friend, it was a lie. El could never have a friend, as he found humans to be a very cunning species." Though it might be worth noting that in the book El Changed the World, which is a spin-off story that takes place after El defeats Light, he holds on to Light's broken watch as a memento and says, "Light, I'll see you on the other side. Let us explore the world of nothingness together." However, this story obviously isn't canon since Light defeats L in the main story. While L didn't really consider Light a friend, L admired Light and viewed him as an equal. L was drawn to Light because they shared similar levels of intelligence, stubbornness, and childishness. While it's clear that Light didn't find L as a friend, he obviously still respected L. In fact, his respect for L combined with his ego and arrogance eventually led to his defeat at the hands of Nier. Light immediately wrote off Nier as inferior to L. This leads to him not engaging in the same level of battle of wits he had with L, because he felt like he didn't need to. And he also felt that he wouldn't achieve the same amount of satisfaction from battling Nier as he did from battling L. Funnily enough, while Light's arrogance was his downfall in the end, L's arrogance helped to keep him on the right track. L refuses to believe that Light can't be Kara because he can't be wrong. He's never wrong. While L's ego doesn't appear as blatantly obvious to us as Light's, it's clearly still there. Even though both Light and L carry large egos, when faced with defeat they both act completely different. When Light is finally defeated, he panics and starts grasping at straws. He desperately tries everything he can to escape the loss, even though it's obviously inevitable. He acts like a child who got caught with his hand in the cookie jar, and he acts nothing like the righteous god he wanted to be.
It's a trap! This whole thing is a setup! This is all part of Nier's plan to frame me! Isn't it a little odd that no one died after having their name written in the notebook? This proves it's a trap!
I believe I already told you that no one would die because I modified the notebook.
No, you... That can't be. This is a setup. I don't know this guy!
L, on the other hand, accepts his defeat gracefully. In my favorite episode of the series, Silence, L goes about his final day knowing that he has lost. He does make one final pathetic attempt at trying to get Light to admit that he's Kira, but he knows it's hopeless.
I'm sorry. Nothing I say makes any sense anyway. If I were you, I wouldn't believe any of it.
You know, you're totally right. Honestly, most of the things you say sound like complete nonsense. There'd be no end to my troubles if I actually took you seriously all the time. I probably know that better than anyone.
Yes. I would say that's a fair assessment. But I could say the same about you.
What's that supposed to mean?
Tell me, Light, from the moment you were born, has there ever been a point where you've actually told the truth?
Where's this coming from, Ryuzaki? I do admit I stretch the truth here and there. However, Find me one person in this world who's never had to tell a lie. It wouldn't be easy. Human beings just aren't made to be perfect like that. Everybody lies from time to time. Even so, I've always made a conscious effort to be careful not to tell a lie that could hurt others. That's my answer.
I had a feeling you'd say something like that.
Light answers just like a politician would, and now Elle's battle is over. After Light and Elle leave the rooftop, they head back inside to dry off. Elle then proceeds to dry and massage Light's feet. This scene is a reference to the Last Supper, when Jesus Christ washes the feet of Judas Iscariot right before Judas was going to betray Jesus and turn him into the Romans to be crucified. Jesus washed the feet of not only Judas, but also the rest of his disciples in a display of love and humility. Elle displays the same humility and shows Light that he knows his end is coming. There's also some irony to this scene. The Christian doctrine of the Trinity holds that God is one God, but is also made up of three persons: God the Father, Jesus the Son, and the Holy Spirit. It's a confusing concept even for Christians, but essentially these three persons are simultaneously distinct individuals, yet are also altogether one. This means that when Jesus is washing the feet of Judas, God is washing the feet of Judas. But in this scene the roles are flipped. Elle is washing the feet of Light, who wishes to be a god. Perhaps this scene is reminding us that Light is only human. While both Light and Elle won't quit their fight until the other dies, they both know that they'll miss their rivalry. Elle's never gone against anyone as intelligent as Light, which allowed Elle to feel more fun from his final case than any of his other cases. Light also never accepts that anyone else could be a worthy opponent like Elle was.
It'll be lonely, won't it? You and I will be parting ways soon.
Death Note gave us a relationship between the protagonist and antagonist that stands out among countless stories. This show would fail without either one of these characters, as their dichotomy perfectly shapes the story and the other characters around them. Maybe this relationship was even too good, since countless fans have said they lost interest in the show after Elle died. Elle and Light are perfect opponents for each other, and I don't know if we'll ever see anything like this in media again.